like, how much should I give away for free? Especially if you're just getting started online, or maybe you've been online for a while, but you're not getting the sales that you want. Maybe I'm giving away too much free content. Am I turning off my audience? What should be paid? What should be free? If that's a question for you, you're in luck, because I'm going to demystify it all right now. Hey, CourtneyLSanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things, and I create a ton of free content. I create videos on this YouTube channel like every single day. Monday through Friday, I'm publishing long-form content, and I'm posting like shorts basically every day. I post a lot on Instagram. I have podcasts. I send out emails. I do my Nail Your Niche challenge, which you should totally sign up for, which is a free 5-day challenge. Like, I do a lot of free content. And so a question that I get asked a lot is, like, how much should I give away for free? Especially if you're just getting started online, or maybe you've been online for a while, but you're not getting the sales that you want and the consistent sales that you want. And you're like, maybe I'm giving away too much free content. Am I turning off my audience? What should be paid? What should be free? How do I know the difference? If that's a question for you, you're in luck, because I'm going to demystify it all right now. All right, there's a few things that you need to keep in mind when we're thinking about free content versus paid content. And the first thing is, we need to understand that the medium restricts the message. So part of the reason why I don't worry about giving away too much for free is because I know that the various social media platforms themselves, there's only so much content that I can give away in these various platforms. So even on this YouTube channel, I do videos that are about 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, come on. If I could give away my whole methodology in a 10 to 15 minute video, then that proves that I don't know enough to be really charging people for my knowledge, right? I understand that my knowledge goes way, way deep. There's a ton of depth. There's a lot of things that I don't even cover here because I don't have the time, I don't have the space, and also there's a broader context that you won't really get unless you're working with me up close. So sure, I might say something like, oh, you need to build your brand, and do a video about that. But people who are in my Next Big Name Bootcamp understand the depth of what I'm truly saying when I talk about building your brand, and they understand the real context. And so they're able to get something deeper and are able to create results at a greater level than someone who simply watches my free content would be able to do. So understand that the medium restricts the message. I think it's like 2,200 character limit in a caption on Instagram. I forget, 280 characters or something on Twitter. And then on YouTube, I mean, I know technically you can like post hours and hours worth of content, but if you're doing, short form content or daily videos the way that I'm doing, even if you're doing a longer podcast, right? I have video podcasts that I publish on YouTube that are like 45 minutes, but just the nature of what it is, I'm not going to be able to give it all away, right? My programs, they go for weeks. I have a 3-week program, like my program, The Package, which is so in-depth. Such an amazing program. You should check it out if you're interested in learning creating packages that sell, but also become the package that sells. But yeah, I did that over the course of like 3 weeks. It took me weeks to get all of that content out. My program, the Next Big Name Bootcamp, is a 12-month program, and then there's coaching on top of it. So understand that, one, the medium is going to restrict the message. So don't, be too fearful, even if you're being really consistent with your content, because there's only so much that you're going to be able to share on these platforms. All right, the next thing you need to keep in mind is understanding what social media is for, right? And so it's not to teach, even though you might teach on social media, but really it's about demonstrating. You want to demonstrate to your ideal target market and to your prospects that you are the person for them. You're the entrepreneur for them, the personal brand for them, the coach, or the industry expert for them. And so with that, you want to spend the majority of your time focusing on your philosophy versus your methodology. In fact, I like to say that people aren't allowed to really learn from me or learn my methodology until they're first bought into my philosophy. And I do that for a few reasons. In fact, I have a video right here that you can check out, which is all about how to attract dream clients. And part of that, I talk about making sure that you deliberately create content that eliminates clients that would be a complete nightmare and a complete headache to you. And so you'll notice that on my social media platforms, whether it's YouTube, podcasts, or my Instagram, I share a lot around my philosophy, how I think about online business building, how I think about life coaching, how I think about success, how I think about money, right? I share a lot about my money, philosophy, so that people who don't like the way that I think about these topics are not going to want to work with me. So I spend the majority of my social media really educating people around my philosophy philosophy. And once they've raised their hand and they said, I like the way you think, we're on the same wavelength, we have the same philosophy, and I want to do the things that you do and really be the type of person that you are, then I invite them and I say, great, you can now learn my methodology by joining my program. So again, it's not so much like that you don't ever teach or you don't share tips and tricks, but it's understanding the purpose of social media. Again, it's really demonstrating that you are the person for your ideal prospect who is looking to work with someone. And so you do that by sharing content that educates around philosophy more than educating around a particular methodology. And going along the lines of the last point, the next thing that you need to keep in mind when it comes to free versus paid content on social media is that you really want to spend the majority of your time on social media conveying who you are versus trying to convince people that they should buy from you, right? I find that a lot of people use social media as a convincing tool, like, oh, you should join my program and you should do this and here's why, right? And they're giving all the reasons why, or even if they're not saying why you should join their program, they're kind of oversharing, giving a lot of methodology away because they're trying to show you like, look, I'm really good. I have a lot to give. And they're like going really, really heavy on like the steps and the 1, 2, 3, and look, I can really help you, right? That's convincing energy. I don't really use social media from a convincing standpoint. I use it from a conveying standpoint. I like to show up. I like to be myself. I like to, again, communicate my philosophy. I like for my brand to showcase who I am, not just from the colors or the lighting or different things, but really kind of my ethos and again, my philosophy in the world and the type of person that I am and really the experience that I like to create on social media. I focus on conveying all of that, and people who are attracted not just to the message, but the general aura that I am conveying in my social media often will reach out to me on their own. So it's a really beautiful system because I don't have to convince people to buy from me. I just simply show up and convey who I am. And then oftentimes they are the ones raising their hand and they're saying, I want to get into your world. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you know that you need to create free and paid content to build your brand, because you do, you need both, but you need more instruction, more guidance on how to do that, I highly recommend that you join me in my signature coaching program, the Next Big Name Bootcamp. We go through all of that. We show you how to not only package yourself, but how to create social media that is really going to help you stand out from the crowd. And again, use that free content to attract people so that ultimately they will want to pay you for your paid content. So if you want to learn my process and not only how I've been able to do this, but how I've been able to help others do the same, go ahead and click the link below in the description box in order to learn more about the program. And if you're interested, apply. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next video, make sure you are subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure that you are following me on Instagram, CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.